broken, everything. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop. I have an awful feeling I've broken all the intro stuff there, so that's good. I am Gav, Chris, and Seany are with me. It's a Liverpool transfer show. There's no more transfers happening, I'm going to be honest with you. But we wanted to have a little discussion because every time somebody else signs a player, Liverpool seem to be up in arms over it. So let's have a little chat about it. But before we do, and before we get into these things, I'm going to ask the two lads a question. Because we've done these kind of post-string things at the start of the summer, a bit of fun. Everyone gets to control of Liverpool and we see where we go and stuff like that. And some interesting names come up in it. But overall, most lads have a feeling of what we want from the summer, what we want to get, different things like that. So, Seany, I'm going to ask you first. Coming into the summer, I know you're one that judges the transfer windows on when the transfer window ends. But coming into the summer, are you along the lines of centre-back, midfielder, maybe a forward if one leaves? Is that where you are? Just so everyone knows before we start this conversation.
Yeah. I think when we done that, now it's important to note that those post-strings shows are completely hypothetical.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And it's not done within us thinking that's an exact context of how it's going to play out. But yeah, I was thinking, someone who can cover left centre back to probably take the reins from Virgil, and then if he's versatile enough to cover left back, then so be it. And if not, then go and get a left back as well, with the idea of that player being an heir to Robbo. And then I felt last year we needed a high level operating deep line midfielder. Obviously Endo comes in and does a good job, but I still feel like it's a position where we do need a top level operator. And then if we are pushing the boat out, I'd then be looking at bringing someone in to maybe deputise Mo, because who knows what the story is with Mo Salah in terms of extending his contract. And since we've done that post-string show, I actually think there's a potential situation where we might need actually a start right back, because I do have a feeling that there's something going on with Trent, and I think there's a chance that he could leave
I'm in
this
the
window,
same boat as you.
if I'm being totally honest. So, yeah, you said it yourself there. I'm the type of player, I think, when I got to about 26, I stopped sort of losing my reason with this stuff. But then I just started to kind of realise that you can take the approach of going mad about absolutely everything you read on social media, or doing nothing, and realising that they both have the same effect. So yeah, we know Richard Hughes has come out in the press conference. He said he expects July to be quiet and he expects August to be busy, and then crescendo in August. So, like, I'm gonna have to take his word for it.
I think he meant that broadly across the whole transfer window because of the Euros,
possibly,
because of the Copa.
possibly.
And
I
in
think that
fairness,
the most surprising thing to me is that the approach that I'm going to say Edwards is taken, because he's over the football operation, and I'd imagine that he's the one who made the decision to go with the approach that we have. Whereas, like, Richard Hughes is front and centre. Like, Richard Hughes is sitting beside Arne Slot in the opening press conferences. He's answering questions. You can see him. There's optics. He's physically there, and that's done by design, I imagine, by the hierarchy, to let you know that this is how it's working. There's Richard Hughes and there's Arne Slot. Whereas during Klopp's tenure, like, you only ever seen Michael Edwards' face in articles that were going in a deep dive. We never, like, if you played me a voice now of 25 different blokes, I couldn't tell you what Michael Edwards sounds like. I have no idea what the fellas sounds like. So we knew so little about him. So they put him out into the window in front of everyone. So look, I'm calm. I'm still calm. I find it hard to believe that that's sitting around doing nothing. Like, we literally, like, and I'm not paraphrasing when I say this, like, Slot and Yos have literally said this in press conferences that literally in contact every day regarding transfers. I'm just going to trust them, give them the benefit of the doubt, which I think the majority of the fan base need to do. And I know that there's a small minority that are just incapable of that because they just love hyperbole, and that's the way they're wired. Yeah, it's going to take time. To be honest with you, I've now, I'm not in any I'm not panicking yet. Let's just say that.
Yeah, no, and look, we're going to get on to the Lenny Yoro discussion in a little bit, as to where Liverpool are linked with this player, what's gone on, what we think may have gone on, because let's put it out there, we don't fucking know what's going on, right? We're just trying to work off what we see and what's actually happening, and we get on to that in a little bit. Chris, you know, we've all, like I said, we all done that kind of post-string shows, and they were good to do. You know, they were at the end of the season. We're filling in the gap between the Euros and the end of the season, and we are kind of all thinking, I don't think Lenny Yoro's name ever come up amongst any of us, but that's just us. But when it comes to the season, like, let's be honest about it. Like, we're not, the three of us aren't going to sit here and go, it's all grand. Like, and we never have. Like, we've never sat here and went, everything's great, because it's not. Like, even down to things like, they can't sell fucking tickets properly. Right? They can't, like, ticket sales open today, couldn't sell them, had to cancel it. So never, nothing is ever perfect, right? But we try to keep a level kind of measured kind of look on it, you know, the sort of way. But there's Chris, there's nobody out there. I don't think there's anybody out there, right, including yourself, that will turn around and go, this squad is fine. This squad is absolutely fine. You know, slots come in and you can get more out of them than Klopp got out of them last season, and all's good. Don't need to spend a penny. Like, we are going to be looking for 2 to 3 players here, Chris. Regardless of what, in my opinion, regardless of what people say about the likes of Sepp van den Berg and others, we're going to be looking for 2 to 3 here. That's okay, isn't it?
I think that's pretty normal. I think that's sort of what you want to do most years, is adding 2 or 3 every season just to freshen it up. Whether that's project players, whether that's people to push out first teamers. That's kind of what you want. I think when you get into the realms of 4, 5, and 6, we've seen that in the past. We saw it under Dalglish.
We had to do it last season.
We had to, yeah. But eventually it catches up with you, because it's, if you're lucky, they all hit the ground running, you're fine. And I think for Liverpool, they did hit the ground running. And then I think you saw Endo, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, lads who've never played over a Christmas period, because they're always having a mid-season break, felt it in February, March. And, you know, we all got caught up in it because they were playing really well. Now they'll learn from that this year. But yeah, look, I thought we'd had 2 or 3, similar to Seany, basically down the spine. You know, a centre-back who could stay fit. If it's a centre-back who could also do a little bit of full-back work, that's kind of handy, because I think to compete with City, if you haven't got City's money, then you need a couple of players who are versatile. I agree, an Endo upgrade would be nice. So Endo is your squad option, and quite frankly, he'd be a decent squad option. And then, if it was me, I think when we did the transfer game, I was looking at a wide right player. So then you could either rotate with Salah, or you put Salah through the middle as a 10. And actually you start to get the lad there, but then you've still got Salah to go wide, just to give you options. Because everywhere else, I kind of feel like, I know social media will hate this, you can make do an amend. There's enough lads who can cover full back. You know, there's enough lads who can play the attacking 8 roles. There's enough lads who can play 10s, who could all play there really well. You just feel like you need a regular partner for Van Dijk. You need that little bit more quality as a deeper holder midfielder. And I just feel like you want another pace option. I always think it's, if in doubt, I mean, Ferguson was famous for that. If in doubt, buy another forward, because you can always sell them, because forwards are quite easy to sell on. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and look, I'm in agreement. I think when you look at the centre half options, and don't get me wrong, Arne Slot could see completely different to Jurgen Klopp and decide now Joe Gomez plays centre half or nowhere. We don't know, right? And when you look at Jarell Quansah, 21 years of age, last season was his first season in the first team squad. He done exceptionally well, and he learned from the couple of mistakes he made. But I thought he was overall, like, you'd be giving Jarell Quansah 8 out of 10 for the season last season. You look at Kanate, who I think is possibly our best centre back, right? Possibly has the potential to be our best centre back, but the fitness is the issue. And you have Van Dijk, who's still for me is outstanding, but he's not getting any younger. and you need to be able to give him a rest every now and then. You need to be able to give him a dependable rest, you know. And what I'm saying is that
up to Chris last season, we could do that because he didn't really play much Europa League football. Which this year will have that option.
Yeah, and it's stood to him. We're going to have 8 Champions League games between September and January, I think, this year. And so with Matip going, you're going to need a centre back. That's my opinion. Midfield, listen, Slot kind of says, "Oh, who says 4-2-3-1?" But I'm still of the opinion if you want to progress this and get more out of it, I think Endo was really good last season. But if for the style of play we want to play and the style of player we want in there, I think you need somebody above Endo. You need somebody that can do the Endo stuff, but is a bit better on the ball, a bit sharper on the ball, a bit more of an eye for a pass, right? And that only helps you. And maybe by Chetic, I'm not saying he's the answer, but he hasn't been seen for a year. He has to be looked at. And it all goes back to, for me, Slot does have to have a look at what he has. Like if you go into any job, you don't walk in and go, don't like this, this and this. And I'm not even talking about football. In life in general, you walk into a job where you have some sort of power or you have some sort of, say on stuff. You're not going to walk in and go, all of that out. You have a look. Now, I'm not saying you should have a look and do nothing. So I think the midfield thing is fine. And up front, I'm of the opinion, if it was me, I'd add one more to what we have. But I'm of the opinion we'll probably add one more if we let one go, i.e. a sale or whatever, right? So that's where we all are. But Shawnee, I was saying, I don't know who we were doing the show with last week. It might have been Kev, might have been Keith. I'm not too sure. But I was saying to him, it might be Keith and Matt, and I was saying it's like the transfer window of centre halves. This seems to be the big thing this summer. Centre backs. Everyone needs them. You know, when you if you went back a couple of years, you'd be saying to yourself, "No, they're really good at centre back. They're stocked at centre back. They're good at centre. The strongest part of their game is centre back." And now it seems to be centre back, centre back, centre back. And I did say 2 weeks ago, this is all stemming from Manchester United because they were looking at Yoro, they were looking at De Ligt, they were looking at Brandtwaite. There was talk of Maguire, Lindelof, were they leaving, and other things going on. And this is where the Lenny Yoro stuff comes up. Now, Shawnee, correct me if I'm wrong. It was all about Madrid. Madrid were going to do their usual trick. They were going to go to this player. They were going to say to him, we'll get you for next to fuck all. Or you're going to sit there for a year and you're going to come to us, right? That was the original bit. And then it was United and Liverpool are waiting in the wings in case this collapses. And then it comes out United made a bid of £50 million plus 12 million in add-ons and blows any idea that Real Madrid can do this on the cheap kind of out of the water with Lenny Yoro's help, right? And now it's like we're seeing today, people are going, why aren't we buying this player? Why aren't we buying this player? Where are you on this? Because, like, for me, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, so I'll tell you what I think, and then you can tell me if I'm wrong. I think Liverpool looked at that and went, if they're going in at 20 million and it doesn't quite happen, we value him around 30 to 35, right? We value him at that with a year left. It doesn't happen at Real Madrid. United come along and offer 50 plus 12, right? Forget the 12 for a minute, it's 50, right? And Liverpool went 40% over what we value him at. It's not quite that opportunity we thought it was. And Liverpool probably went, hands up. He's not for us at that price. And he's possibly going to Manchester United. So that's where I am.
That's exactly what happened.
I'm not saying that's exactly. Couldn't tell you if it's right or wrong. But I just think Liverpool, because people are banging on about the opportunistic. If we see an opportunity, I think Liverpool's seen an opportunity, and then the opportunity became 50 million for a fella, 18 a year left in his deal. He may be brilliant, but it's an awful lot of money, Shawnee, for somebody that you need. I think you need a centre half with a bit more experience than that, because you're going to knock Jarell Quansah out of his team to put him this new centre back in, and I don't think Lenny Yoro knocks him out.
Yeah, no, I agree. Look, I'll start by saying I've never seen this fella play a game of football, and I'd put my neck out saying that a high percentage of the people who are, for want of a better term, pissing our nappies because we're not signing them and haven't seen them play football either. But I totally agree with you in terms of the numbers and how it's ended up. United doing the deal, fair play to them, but I don't see this as an opportunistic grab by United. They're overpaying for the opportunity to sign this kid, because he's a kid. Let's make no bones about it.
No, massive. No, I don't want this to come across as Liverpool fans going, "Oh, you're putting down Yoro." Meant to be an outstanding prospect.
I literally just said I never seen. Look, put it this way, right? Trent Alexander-Arnold is one of the, in my opinion, top 5 right backs in world football. Yeah. He's a year left on his. He's a year left on his deal. Liverpool will do well to get £62 million for him.
Yeah.
With a year left on his deal.
Possibly, yeah.
Do you get what I'm,
yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like, Liverpool would do really, really well to get that money for Trent. On top of that, if what's to believe, we believe that he's got like a wage packet in the sum of 150 grand a week. He's 18 years of age. Like, let's be honest. I'd be probably more understanding of people being annoyed if a player like Kwanzaa didn't emerge last year. But that's exactly why when we had conversations all year and people were waxing lyrical about Kwanzaa when we were flying high, top of the league, saying this kid's at the saving us 50, 60 million. This is exactly the type of conversation where you chalk back to that and say, yeah, that is the case here because he has saved us some money. Now, does that mean that we shouldn't sign a centre-back? Absolutely not. No. But honestly, I would, and you know me, Gav, you know the way I am, I've questioned players that we signed in the past. If Liverpool was splurging, it's one of them things, and it's the United tax, and you do see it when they do sign players that, like, every time an article comes out, it seems that the transfer fee does seem to rise. I've seen people saying upwards of 70 million euros for this kid.
No, it's 50 million euros, someone says there, plus 12 million in add-ons. So you're looking at about 56 all in million pounds.
Yeah, for an 18-year-old.
If you go on the euro, if you go on euros, yeah.
For an 18-year-old with a year left on his deal, like, let's be honest, like it's not one of these things where you go, holy fuck, how have United pulled this off? Like, it's quite clear how they've pulled it off, and it's quite, to me, it's fairly obvious why Liverpool aren't in and around this deal, because it doesn't make, that's not a deal that makes financial sense. Definitely not to Liverpool. Like, yeah, it might be a long-term version replacement. He'd be a fifth choice centre back if he came in.
Can I ask you then before we move over to Chris? If we haven't got Jarell Kwanzaa, just as a thing, you see, this is my thing, right? If we don't have Jarell Kwanzaa and we're sitting here and we're going, Kanate, Van Dijk, Gomez, and we're all in that where we want to sign in a really top end centre back for now and for the future. But I'd be a bit more annoyed at this if we hadn't got a Jarell Kwanzaa, and I'm kind of going, lads, can we not just fucking, I genuinely would. I'd say, let's put the 50 million down for this fella. If he's meant to be that good.
I've never seen him play, guys.
No, either have I, but just going on what people are saying, I think it's easier to find a spot, even at that price, in a squad without Jarell Kwanzaa there for this player.
I think there's better value in the market than that, to be honest with you, than what United pay for him. Because, like,
£172,000 a week is apparently.
You know what? You can take this as gospel. The French league is absolute gash. It's gash, and it's no problem. I'd say outside of PSG and who else from the French league was in the Champions League last year?
Don't know.
There you go.
I don't know.
I genuinely believe.
Oh, Rennes.
I genuinely believe 75% of the teams in League One would struggle playing 2 games a week in the Championship. I'm being deadly honest with you. I'm being serious. So the caliber this young was up against, who knows? I believe he wasn't even the dominant set, and that's expected to be. He's not the dominant centre back. He's 18 years of age. He's not supposed to be. But honest to God, like I seen in the chat there, Gravenberch is on 150k. Gravenberch went from Ajax to Bayern Munich and was there and was one of the highest rated players in Europe going out there, and that's why we had to give him the money. I agree. When I read that Gravenberch was on 150k a week, I even thought that was ridiculous. So because Gravenberch's on 150k a week, it doesn't mean that giving Yoro that is not silly. 2 things can be true at the same time. 150 grand for Gravenberch is silly. 150 grand a week for Yoro is even as bad for me.
172,000 is the rumored amount per week. That's the rumored amount.
Look, for me, for me, it's personally this kid could come on, go on to be a Rolls Royce, and if they do, fair play to them, because I think it's actually going to be a money ball job from United, and they'll flip him and send him to Madrid anyway, when the time is right, and they'll make money on him. But I would not be paying I wouldn't pay it personally, because I don't know enough about him, and I just haven't seen any 18-year-old centre back worth that in world football. The lad at Barca really stands out, Koulibaly, but he has a fucking €1 billion buyout clause. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, I don't get the outrage from Liverpool fans, because it's just like, I think anyone with a brain here can see exactly how United have pulled this deal off, and personally, I don't think we should have been anywhere near that at that price. And I totally agree with you. Liverpool probably felt there was an opportunity to nick this fella, and Madrid weren't going to take him for the reported 25-30 million. Lille have played an absolute fucking blinder here on this.
This reminds me a bit of
Lille have form as well.
Did they do this with the man that went to Arsenal? Was he at
They
Lille?
done it with Pepe. They done it with Osimhen. Yeah. They do it all the time.
Remember your man, the Lille owner, pinned Liverpool to your man Pepe. And it was like, it started at £30 million, he went for 72, and every week he was going, now Liverpool are going a bit more.
I'll say one thing, and to not, because I don't want to, like, people come on here and accuse us of being nodding dog. One thing I will say is, the club definitely did brief about the interest in this fella,
because when Joyce comes out and says something,
this is not a case of Liverpool saying we didn't want them.
No.
Liverpool definitely did see an opportunity. But I agree with what you're saying. I totally agree with what you said initially, that they probably felt they could do a deal at 40 max, and because I'd be shocked if he's clearing 10 grand a week at Lille, at 18 years of age. For what he's gone, honest to God, I would.
Yeah, no, I don't know what he's paid at Lille. I don't know what he's earning. I really don't. And listen, my motto and my thing in all this is when Paul Joyce speaks, I would listen, right? And he does drop his name in. He absolutely drops his name in. And I'm going to be honest with you, when he dropped his name in, I didn't see it. It was somebody showed me today. I'm presuming I was away on holiday when it happened, and I just switch off completely, right? And when I read that, I thought to myself, okay, he's definitely dropped the name, but it was very much a case of, and I think this is where people have got upset, because it was like Liverpool and United are waiting in the wings for if Real Madrid deal for Leny Yoro collapses, and the Liverpool fans are going, how the fuck did we let them go to Manchester United? Why did we step in? I think that's my feeling. My feeling on it is that Liverpool looked and went, if Madrid are doing a fucking job on Lille here, they're doing it for 20 million quid. And if Lille don't buy and Real Madrid won't go any higher, we may step in with 30, 35. But then when it goes up to 50 and 60, we're at on. Liverpool went, that opportunity was there at a certain price for the squad we have, what we need, and what we could supplement it with. Because I think he would supplement the squad rather than come in and be Lenny Yoro's your new fucking main man. I think Liverpool looked at it and went, it's gone too far. It was an opportunity, but at the end of the day, if you're willing to pay 35 and it's now a 55, right, you're paying 40% extra. And I don't think we're willing to go 40% extra. And people will say, you'd fucking done Liverpool, and I'm kind of going, well, no, because if both teams bid £30 million, and he said, right, both have agreed a fee, go and speak to both clubs, pick who you want to go to, and he goes to Manchester United, you go, fuck, he got the better of us there. But I don't think that's the case. And I think, I understand people wanting Liverpool to spend. I understand it's a centre-back, but I don't think, for me, it's not the type of centre-back where you go, that's where I'm going to pin my summer on. Because I promise you, if Lenny Yoro signed for Liverpool tomorrow and played Betis on the 26th or 27th of July and made one mistake, the first thing you'd hear is, look, we're buying fucking youth for the future instead of buying class for now. And that's what would happen. That's just the way things are. Chris, I haven't seen the guy playing football, but I will go on a lot of people that do watch, French football or whatever, and say he's a really, really, really good player. But we have to understand that, when it comes down to these things, everyone using this opportunity word from Richard Hughes, an opportunity can fast become, it's not an opportunity anymore. It's overpaying, and we're not just not overpaying.
Opportunities, the new transfer committee.
Opportunistic, I think, might be the word of the summer.
Opportunistic. It's the new transfer committee. That'll be the word that's used all summer.
Yeah.
I think the bit that was also lost to people, I can't remember which journalist. I don't think it was Joyce, but when they were talking about this Yoro deal, they did say this is separate to what Liverpool want to do for the summer. So it was framed as
a one-off opportunity.
If he's available at a certain price, we're going for him. If he's not, it's not our main target. I mean, now I've noticed certain journalists are briefing it was Liverpool's main target. They're all Manchester United journalists, so that might be a reason why they're briefing that way. That's just, but to us, that's the game. And I'll be honest, if we'd have got him, I'm sure we'd have briefed he was Man United's first choice target. That's just the game. That's the game. That's the little one-upman shit that we all do. Like we did with Bellingham when we said, we're not interested, the deal got too expensive. It wasn't that. It was Bellingham turned us down and said, I'm going to Madrid. And we went, yeah, fair enough. It's all face saving.
Yeah, so it is all face saving. Chris, I'll stay with you because, I don't like. We look. Someone mentioned there, and it just the name caught me eye. Calafiori. Going. I don't know if that's done to Arsenal.
Stalled, isn't it?
Is it done?
No, apparently it's stalled because Bologna and I can't remember. There's a Basel. I think I've got an argument on sell-on clauses, and one thinks they're owed more than the other. So it's delayed.
If it's only stalling because of that, it'll get sorted. But but is part of the panic, and I'm using the word fucking panic here, but it's part of the frustration, I suppose, from some Liverpool fans over this Lenny Yoro deal. The fact that I'm a bit like this, where I'm looking going, centre halves of certain quality, I don't think there's a load of them out there that you can get unless you're willing to spend mega money. Is part of it that, and somebody says there, we're a month away from our first league game, and I understand that. It's not like we're going to have no centre halves on the first day of the season. But is part of it that where people are looking around going, like, start naming the centre halves here you can realistically get?
I think there's that. I think also if Klopp was still here, we kind of know what he wants. We kind of know how he plays. We probably have a good gauge now of what he was going to do. He'd have known about, obviously, what was going on in the summers. So this would all be laid out. I think because everything's new, it's a new structure above it. It's a new manager. I think there's that little bit of trepidation, uncertainty with some people of like, what's going to happen. But at the moment, even if Arsenal sign Calafiori, that's outside of Villa. No one's done any real business outside of Villa, and then Villa had to do a lot of business because their squad was so thin and nearly got scuppered at the end of the season because of injuries, because they were struggling to do 2 games a week, which is because they probably should have won the Conference League, really, but injuries and a small squad hit them. So they've done some smart business just to beef the squad up. Does that mean Villa will be in a title race? No. But I just think they've made themselves sort of competitive, both in the league and maintain a bit of a European push. But outside that, I don't think anyone's doing anything yet.
But Villa have let go of probably their best midfielder last season, and Douglas Luiz, to go and do what they're doing. So it's not like Villa, like people I've seen when it comes to Villa, people are going, the people behind us just keep getting better and better, and we're standing still and going, I haven't seen Villa play a game with all these players. And Douglas Luiz was their best midfielder last season by a distance. So numbers-wise, they've improved, but I don't know how much they've improved. And I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying on evidence, you haven't seen anything. And
they're hoping they're going to be hoping that Tyrone Mings comes back from an ACL in his early 30s.
Apparently, Calafiori is a 40% sell-on for Basel. What a fucking deal they pulled there.
So that's probably where the haggle then is, because they probably want more money out of Arsenal to get themselves at a certain level. So I've been quite relaxed about it. I kind of thought end of July, early August, when you start to see in general a bit of a ramp up then, because everyone's got the Euros, got the Copa America out of the system. They kind of know what's going on. They know who's come back where, and I think that's when we start to see some movement. I mean, the other thing, what isn't being talked about with the United move is they are getting 26 million for the striker going to Spain.
Greenwood,
he's going to Spain. I think it's 26 million. So
Marseille he's going to, isn't he?
Marseille, sorry, but there's a bulk of the fee paid for. So again, that's because it's the whole PSR thing. I think clubs are now realising they've got to be a little bit smarter because they can't get away with some of the shenanigans they got away with for years. So,
yeah.
It is what it is.
Seany, when we look at just away from the transfer stuff, because we could start naming centre backs and DMs and left wingers and right wingers, just for the record, kudos off West Ham place, whenever you're ready, Liverpool. But we've seen Slot now for the last 10 days or so in training. We've seen players coming back, and now you're starting to see a lot of force teamers back. So Salah, Robertson, Sobbers, Lloyd. There's an awful lot of them coming back, and more will come back as the next week goes on. But we've spoken a little about Arne Slot and assessing the squad and looking what he has and things like that. Is there anybody there for you that you look at and go, probably out on loan last season, probably a bit fringe player last season, but now you think, you know what, he might have a chance, but Bajcetic in my head fucking a lot of the day.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Is he the one that where you look and go, he might change his mind when it comes to what he may do in the market?
Yeah, because not that he should, but he is one. Like, I think people are forgetting how impressive he was when he came into the team. Not last season, the season before last. He had a brilliant run. He didn't look out of place at all. He looks a really big talent, and people don't realise that. I think his kind of sabbatical last year was a planned one from the club, because I think he was having some sort of issues with ground pains and stuff like that, and I think he had hairline fractures and stuff like that. So they left him out, on purpose. I think they were building up, and you look at him in the training pictures, and he looks like a physical specimen. Now, obviously, time will tell. But yeah, obviously, I've seen in the chat there, Jayden Dan's looks an unbelievable prospect, and he again looks like he's even bigger than he did this time last year. I think Van der Beek will go. I think a lot of people are looking shitting the bed over that way too much because they're seeing him running around. I think he will go. I think there's way too much.
I think Morton will go as well.
Yeah, who?
Morton. I think they'll use him as a good sell.
Yeah, I think Morton will go as well. Yeah, I really like Tyler Morton, but I think at the stage where Liverpool might actually be in a good position now to sell him and probably maximise on him. But yeah, coming back, I don't know enough about Almbeck, to be honest, to know if I was going to give him loads of minutes. But look, it's hard to know really. If we are talking about Jurgen Klopp managing the team, you could kind of, because we know what way they play football. For me, the thing that makes it exciting is the thing that also kind of scares me a little bit is the unknown. We don't really know exactly how what our approach is going to be, how we play. Everyone was going on about this 4-2-3-1. He completely rubbished that then in his conference. So, look, just I'm looking. When's the first game?
The 17th of August, is it?
Yeah, look, some of these lads, they have massive talent. I've seen people talking about Harvey Blair as well as another one who kind of had a bad injury last year and is back around, who looks a massive talent. I think Kay Gordon as well is a massive talent. I'm not saying that we don't sign anyone at the expense of these young lads, but it is something that you definitely need to consider, because I think this time last year when Gerald Kwanzaa was kept around as fifth choice centre back, everyone was shitting the bed, and then as soon as it was being mentioned that Gerald Kwanzaa was a potential make weight in an Andy Gordon deal, everyone was going mad, saying there's no way Liverpool should be letting him go. This is a lad who was brought in on the prelim England squad. He's had an absolute massive season for Liverpool last year. It was brilliant. He hardly put a foot wrong, makes a mistake away at Old Trafford. Fair enough. So just relax and stop going up the wall about stuff you can't change. Worrying about this stuff is not going to make it any better or any worse. Just chill out. But if I talk crying on social media and tweeting 50 tweets a day about the state of the club and FSG was going to change stuff, I'd probably think about doing it. But knowing that it has absolutely no effect means I won't be anywhere fucking near it. Them bleeding Corbally sisters are off the head. The pair of them, the stuff they're coming out with, that honestly, like it's just pure boil. And to be honest with you, I think an awful lot of the accounts that are pushing this stuff now are all paying for the subscriptions and make a nice few quid when they get loads of great engagement on their tweet. So I think it's time to stop paying any mind to them and just relax. Like myself, I love Reddit because the Liverpool subreddit, you literally go in there and the only time anything comes up is if it's concrete. You don't see any of this speculation. I don't know who we've been linked to. I guarantee that there's hundreds, thousands of articles on Liverpool since this time last month linking us with every single player out under the sun, and we won't sign any of them by the likelihood, if any of them. So I don't it's just I don't do that shit anymore, Gav. Like I said, I'll wait until August or whatever the window, because they change it every bleeding time. I'll wait until the window. Yeah, I'll wait until the window closes to kind of go, there you go. That's fair enough. Have we done enough? Yes, no, maybe. Okay, let's get on right now and watch the football like what we're supposed to do. Because I think the thing that gets lost in all of this transfer shit is that the only thing that is really important is the football. I think people get so caught up in this transfer stuff. It's absolutely.
I just don't think it's unreasonable for a guy to come into a job, right? He has the job since the 4th of June, right? He's in constant contact with Richard Hughes. We're probably 6 weeks into him officially being Liverpool manager, and I don't think, and he's 10 days into seeing the players. I don't think it's unreasonable for us to sit here, 17 days into the transfer window officially, and going, yeah, we haven't done that yet, and for them to be quite open and saying, we want to assess what we have, we want to see what we have, we want to see what we may need. We're not going to rush into it in July. It may happen in August. I think that's fairly reasonable. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's reasonable to get to the end of the summer and me and you and Chris sit here on the 4th of September and go, they don't fuck all boys. You know what I mean? And not,
that'd be a disaster.
Well, for a couple of reasons. For a couple of reasons is, right, as much as like, if he wins anything, it's going to be like, that's Klopp's squad. If he fucking fails with this squad without doing his own thing, people are going, he was afraid to touch Klopp's squad, or, and people will always go to, FSG with this. Listen, FSG own the football club, but the boys pulling the fucking strings are below. Like, John Henry doesn't fucking have a breeze what's going on every day. You know what I mean? He runs FSG. You know what I mean?
He doesn't even run FSG anymore.
Yeah, and so the lads that are there and like you said, are being front and centre, have decisions to make, and their heads are on the block from day one. This is Liverpool Football Club. Do you know what I mean? And I just think it's fairly reasonable to be sitting here going, yeah, they're looking at things. Yeah, they're very. I think they've done this for a couple of reasons. I think they showed that they're comfortable in what they have and where they're going with regards to transfers, but they're also very comfortable in, we're not going to get screwed for, a Nat Phillips going for fucking next to nothing, or a Van den Berg going for a third of the price we value him at. So they made those comments. There was a double-edged sword, in my opinion. But it's like, don't get me wrong, like, and I said it at the very start, we're not going to sit here and tell you everything's great, and we're not going to sit here in a month's time or 6 weeks' time and with the exact same squad going, everything is great. But I think it's fairly reasonable for the manager to turn around and go, let me have a look. Let me just have a look at what's going on.
Dirty in the comments there, club that prides itself on data is saying they need to assess a few training. Like, where did the club say that they need to assess a few training sessions?
No, they haven't.
You haven't said that anywhere. No. You read that online.
Arne Slot said, when he came into the club, right, he said that he had watched games and he had watched training sessions. Right? The reason being for the training sessions was he wanted to see what work they done, how they done it, and how it would fit in what he does. So he's not going from, fucking this over here to completely other end of the scale, right?
It's a club that
pride itself. No, hold on a second. A club that pride itself on data saying they need to assess a few training sessions is pure bollocks, says Jerry. Now let me tell you something. Every fucking club pride itself on data. Every single one of them, right? But there might be data there. You have to remember, Van den Berg has no data. He's no fucking data in a Liverpool shirt. None. Right? They have none from last season. Absolutely none. And there's no point looking at the data from Mainz, because what way do Mainz play? How under pressure are they? What style do they have? So you're not going to go in and go, Sepp van den Berg is fucking absolutely boxing off, Mo Salah for 2 hours in training going, don't give a bollocks. The data here says he got dribbled by some fucking Turkish fella in Germany twice last season. That makes no fucking sense. It makes no fucking sense. You're absolutely entitled to look at what you have. But they've openly come out and said, yes, we are looking at it. Yes, we're assessing it. We're looking at different things. They've said they're in daily contact over transfers and recruitment. They've said it. Like, it's not like they're lying to you. They fucking said it on screen at a press conference. The first opportunity they got. You know what I mean? They've told you what's going on. But listen, I don't know. Like, if you want to just believe,
I will say one thing. For me, I'd much prefer, I think it's more beneficial to have your business done early, but I understand with Copa America on and the Euros on, it does make it a little bit more difficult, but Liverpool are famed for having their business done early. For example, look at last year, it was the space of 48 hours where Szoboszlai linked, Szoboszlai signed, Szoboszlai unveiled. Things change rapidly. Just do yourself a favour. Don't believe anything that you see that's aggregated on Twitter or X or whatever you call it. And don't read anything from Ian Doyle. What's the other fella? There's James Pearce and there's another fella.
I would just literally
because at the
turn
end of
off
the day,
all your notifications online, except for
so little
Joyce.
news. These lads need to fill column images and they need to get clicks. And
Johnny, 3 weeks ago, I sat here and done a show, and I would say at least a dozen people came on into this chat and said, Liverpool have no intention. They don't see a centre back, a midfielder, or a forward as a priority this summer. What the fuck is going on, right? Yesterday, I seen a quote from a journalist. The journalist was quoted into a tweet, because that's how it works now, and it was like, Liverpool have had discussions internally about signing a centre back, a midfielder, and a forward. Now, which one is true? So they haven't. If you think Liverpool had no priority on all these players 3 weeks ago, but now we're discussing, we might actually go and need these three. These are from the same things, 3 weeks apart. The same fucking accounts, 3 weeks apart. And
this is what I struggle with the uproar. I can see some of the same things you mentioned in the comments. Is
LFC Spectre says Joyce and Ornstein are the only journalists listed for Liverpool breaking news. End of discussion. Incorrect. Joyce is. Ornstein isn't. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Joyce is. Go on.
Yeah, but I've seen some things in the chat that are going like, well, you can't believe this is true. You can't believe that is true. So you don't believe it, but then the same journalist will say the opposite next week, and then you'll pick and choose when you want to believe it. You either believe them or you don't. We can't pick it at the point. I'm at a point now where and I get it. Some people don't like the owners, so whichever story suits giving the owners a kick, let's go for that, whether it's true or indifference. The other thing is, I've seen plenty online on the chat made up Edwards is back, bringing his own team together. I think people forget when Edwards was here last time, fuck all came out of the club. You never heard anything until very, very, very late. And guess what? They're probably doing that same trick again. So everyone's doing guesswork. And I'll be honest, most of the guesswork, it doesn't take a genius to go, what would Liverpool like? A centre mid, a centre back, and probably another forward. You don't need to be in the know or a journalist to know that. That's pretty common sense what they want. Who the names are, we'll have to wait and see. Listen, I agree with you, Gav. If we get to the end of August and the squad's the same, we'll all be saying the same thing, which is we'll left ourselves short here. Now there are some players I do think I'm intrigued to know what they're going to do next year. As in, Gravenberch was in and out, so I want to see what he can do. Can Kwanzaa kick on again, or will he have a little dip because he's a young player? Can Gomez stay fit like he did last year? There's loads of things we don't know.
Can they manage Kanate where he's playing 30 league games? Yeah. Regista says, and some people defend the owners no matter what. That's also not a right way to do. But to be honest with you,
he obviously doesn't listen to this show enough.
Why do people get so hung up on them? like, right, do you think John Henry is sitting down there going, let's look at the squad? And I think the squad's absolutely fine. You're getting no money. John Henry doesn't know a football from a fucking cabbage, right? Let's be honest about it. He doesn't.
That's
He
why you employ
hasn't a
Billy Hogan.
fucking breeze. He's a businessman, right? So that's why he has all these people in there. And Regista, just to let you know, we've just said it. If it comes to the end of the window, and I'll put my hand up, we haven't signed a centre back in particular, right? Especially a centre back. And yeah, do you know what? I'll go and say a midfielder as well of a defensive type. I will sit here in the 1st of September and go, that's not enough. That's not enough. And Slot might try his best, and best of luck to him. But that for me is not enough because of the makeup of what you have in those positions already and what you're looking to trying to do. And all this stuff about having to be completely and utterly like FSG are the best team since sliced bread, or over here where they're just the worst thing, that they're the devil. Like, it's a fucking mad scene. It's an absolute mad scene. But the thing is, Liverpool can't prove their transfer window to you for 6 weeks. So all they can work on is what they're at now. And what they're at now is assessing what they have. And will no doubt, when they make the assessment, they go, no, do you know what? He's not going to work. So see that guy we've been talking about for the last 3 weeks? We're going to go and do him. Let's go and do him. And that's the way they should be working. And I'd be confident enough that's the way they are going to work.
Plus, as Shawnee says, if they are certain that, say, if they come, Trent's going to go Madrid this summer, that you have to pivot your policy then, because that's a completely different change of tactic, because that's quite a big hole you leave in the squad.
Well, you see, if Trent is going to go to Madrid in this summer, that decision I would reckon has been told to Liverpool in fairly recently, where maybe attitudes towards contracts have changed and Liverpool have to look and go, right, we need to do something here. Let's go and have a look at what we are going to do and reassess. Yeah, because you can't, like Liverpool can't sign 3 players, 4 players and then go, by the way, Van Dijk, Salah and Trent, they all want to go this summer. We just signed the 3. It just doesn't work like that. It just simply doesn't work like that. But I left this comment up because it made me laugh. Dylan says, I met Tyler Martin in Temple Bar at Christmas last year. Terrible nice fella. Was drinking pints of Guinness that were on the table for 30 plus minutes. Probably best if we move him on. He clearly has no morals. So,
yeah, what about David Shakespeare there asking us about Johnny Hoytinger coming on board?
Yeah, so Johnny Hoytinger has come on.
That's boiled some piss as well.
Yeah, Johnny Hoytinger has come in as assistant manager at Liverpool. Was he with Arne Slot?
He was at Ajax. He's been at Ajax.
Okay.
Because I saw again, it's probably for an aggregator to say, your mate Kudos was singing his praises.
Yeah, he's made a little comment, hasn't he?
Saying I loved his training. You know, the way he did training was really good.
I'm liking what Liverpool are doing here.
That could be a reason for it as well.
Gav, did I show you what I seen yesterday with it? You know, I just love football, alright? So I literally would sit there all day watching like drills of. I'd watch PSV doing volleys and playing whatever, just watching training sessions. So I discovered that everything I training in Dublin at the moment. I train out in the Carn House, sorry. So I said I'll stick on the video and I just stuck around and watching them there inside training. Decent, like doing a few drills and that. And I said, you know what, I'll go into the comments.
Oh yeah, no, it's good here.
Right? So I goes into the comments and I mean it when I say this. I actually screenshot them and I sent them to Gavin. There's Everton fans, right, going absolutely ballistic in the comments. Because Castore have sent them over red bibs, right?
For training.
And like, Castore, get a fucking grip with the red bibs, right?
Yeah. Castore, you need to read the room here. What's going on with the red bibs? Like, these boys are literally in Ireland training, and a few of them have a couple of red bibs on to differentiate from the lads that aren't in bibs, and the boys are going bleeding mad. But Johnny Hoytinger now is free to put red baubles on his tree, because when he's at Everton, that isn't allowed. Remember the time Koeman put red baubles on the tree and people were like, oh, look at this. He's meant to be Everton manager. He's red all over his Christmas tree. I was like, fucking hell.
But do you not remember? He then changed the tree, put another picture up, and then they kicked off again. Said there's no blue in that tree either. Fucking do it again.
Yeah. Fucking
He had
mad
to do his
stuff.
tree 3 times.
But Hoytinger has come in as assistant manager. Like the lads have said
So
here.
is he like the second in line?
He has been appointed at Liverpool as part of the staff as assistant manager.
He's got 2 of them.
Yeah.
I'll say one thing, Liverpool inside trains have been a bit mad. The boys lifting up the kettlebells with the tea towels and all.
Yeah, punching the head off each other and all. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Super chat here from Brace DeVille says, sorry, Gav, I'm sure you're making brilliant points, but I can't focus on anything but wherever Shawnee is attacking with those clippers. Shawnee's having a lovely time with his clippers there.
Boys, I'm actually I'm ADHD up to my eyeballs. I didn't even realise I was doing that thing.
He's just clipping his nails there as if nothing's going on.
I'm actually cutting a Burma up for it.
He's cutting a Burma. So there you go. Next level says the Hoyting appointment is a smart move, knowing the physical demands of the league, which will help Slot, who's just got started. He was praised a lot of Ajax working under there with the youth system. Yeah, there you go. Look, again, I'm presuming Everton fans aren't losing that plot over Johnny Hoyting at home.
Mad Apple, Rafa's red door. Remember that?
Yeah, Rafa had a red door when he was at as Everton manager, and he fucking lost the plot over there. And LFC Spectre says, saw a few blue noses today saying they never liked Johnny Hoyting at Everton anyway, which is just bad. So there you go. But look, I think out of all this, for me anyway, we're seeing a transfer unfold a little bit here with Leny Yoro. I don't think it's helped. I think if Liverpool had a signing in the door, people are going, look. Especially if we had a centre half, so maybe kind of going, what do we need him for as well? But I just think, look, I think where Shawnee's coming from is bang on. You assess her at the end of the window, and if the end of the window comes along and we're sitting as we are, or we've only brought in one, you kind of go, yeah, that's not good. Do you know what I mean? But I think for me, I think you have to, I always look at where do you focus the frustration, and I think the frustration has to be genuinely focused here. If that happens, are Arne Slot and Richard Hughes. They've sat out in front of the cameras and said they're absolutely talking about it. They're all about recruitment. They're talking about it every day. And if that doesn't happen, I don't even think it goes to Michael Edwards. I don't even think it goes to FSG. Now, unless it came out afterwards and went, listen, Arne Slot wanted these 3 players for all 90 million quid each, and then you're going to go, or he wanted 3 players at 60 million each, and FSG said no, or it couldn't happen. It's just, for me, it's let it run. See where we are, but there's no way Liverpool aren't doing anything. Shawnee's having a lovely laugh here. Go on.
Dave Shakespeare, yeah, fucking winding me up, mate.
Dave Shakespeare says, I hope when we play Everton and he does not make us lose the game. Johnny Hoyting, he's not playing. He's not playing. No, he's just assistant manager. He's not, we're not bringing him in at right back because Trent might be going to Madrid. Do you know what I mean? Owen Book says, no ketchup allowed in the burgers at Goodison, probably. Just the Christmas tree is the best thing ever. Absolutely ever. But look, it's we thought we'd come on, we'd have a little chat about transfers, what we'd like to see, when we'd like to see it. And listen.
So we're going to America, are we? The club, the team?
Yeah, we've got Betis on the 20th.
Yeah, we're not.
No, we're not. We won't be allowed in. Not with your bleeding ADHD walking around big scissors in the airport trying to cut your nails. They wouldn't let us in.
I'm actually genuinely because I understand how much ball things like that could be. They're trying to listen to something and I'm there bleeding, chopping out. I'm completely in another world.
Actually, listen, don't worry about it. Kev took 2 drags off his vape 2 weeks ago and the place went into meltdown. But in fairness, at the time, right, Kev had changed his setup at home.
Sound like Darth Vader.
So what happened was, I don't know how he fucking done it, but he changed his microphone to his AirPods. So every breath he took, and the vape was like Darth Vader, and he didn't realise it was going on. So it was funny at the time, but people got so fucking upset, and we were like, "We just calm the fuck down." Then then people are like, "Don't think I can watch this anymore." I heard the dog barking twice in the last week on the show. And we're like, lads, we're in our gaffs. Do you know what I mean? We have dogs. What do you want us to do?
Chill out, mate.
Fucking duct tape the fucking dog's mouth shut. It doesn't work. It's grand. We're not in the studio doing stuff, but I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed it a lot. I think it's been fairly measured. I think a lot of people in there are frustrated, and that's fine. A lot of people aren't, and things like that. And they'll wait and see. But there's probably a middle ground. I think, yeah, Liverpool probably should. And if you're thinking, Liverpool probably should be doing something by probably the second week in August. Really, or they probably want to be bringing a sign to America with them, or one when they come back. We don't know, but you are going to see an awful lot of signings being made this summer where they won't start the season for their clubs. You'll see them a week later or 2 weeks later. That's just the way it's fallen this year. Manu 37 is in the chat. We're bigger than Liverpool. Fair fucks to you. You're great. And
Had a great game the other night, Kobe. Fair play.
yeah, well done, Kobe. Good player there. He is a good player.
Yeah, he's magic.
He's
magic.
He's a really good player. But we're bigger than Liverpool. Well, yeah, that's great. We're going to head. Thanks to Chris. Thanks to Seany. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button. 4 people don't like us. Fair play to you. 91 people do. If you want to hit the like on the way out, subscribe, become a member, whatever, all of that stuff, you can. If you want to help our fundraisers, the links are in the description there as well. Donate, or you can share them amongst your family, your friends, colleagues, whatever it might be. That's been it. Seany, anything else before we go?
No, all good. Good to be back. Haven't been on actually in a while.
That's because you fucked up on a month's holiday.
Yeah, well, I'm entitled to do that.
Are you?
Well, not technically, I'm actually not, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I am. Hey, I'm entitled to. Are you? Well, no, but yeah.
Yeah, you could get me into trouble here, Gav, to be quite honest with you, to be put.
You won't.
It's good to be back. It's a month away, and I've seen that the Fantasy League went live today, so I'm going to have to start having a look at that again.
Can I just tell you, can I give you a heads up on something? Phil is doing this thing for Laura Lynn, and he's actually going to be running a fantasy football, Premier League fantasy football for the season. He's organising at the minute, but it's going to be 20 quid to enter, right? So if he gets 100 people, that'd be $2,000. But what he's going to do is he's going to give 1,000 to the charity and 1,000 to the prize money. Yeah. It might be a winner takes all, but keep an eye out for that. It is coming. We're not doing one this year, but Phil is going to be doing one, and it's 20 quid to enter. It'll be a winner takes all, but for every 20 that goes in, 10 goes towards the prize fund and 10 goes towards the charity. So it'll be a really good way of people to donate there. So keep an eye out for that. Thank God you mentioned Premier League and fancy football, Seany. Super Dizzle says, good to see you, Seany. He looks fucking great, doesn't he? He only didn't cut his nails before his holiday though. Great show, lads. Good night, says Super Dizzle. Chris, anything else before we go?
No, nothing from me, mate.
Yeah, okay, good stuff. Manu has come back with a big laughy face. Nice one. He's good form. He's a nice lad. You stay with us. You stick with us. We look after you, Manu 37. And there's no problem. He's a United fan, clearly. There's Arsenal fans and everything. Watch this. We're only just chatting football, having a bit of crack. But that is it. We are out of here. We will talk to you soon. What day is today? Wednesday. We may be back tomorrow. We're definitely back Sunday. And then next week, it's all systems go. Every bleeding day of the week if possible. All systems go. We're going to chat about anything you want Liverpool-wise looking to the season ahead. Talk to you in a bit. Over and out.